But hopefully YouTube people will double check. Let me post on here. Oops. Let me go back. All right, can y'all see me now on Twitch if you refreshed? Let me see. Here we go. Okay, so I'm live again on YouTube, but the URL has changed. So I'm going to update that. New YouTube URL for, because I lost YouTube connection. I don't know why I did, but all right. So there that is. Hopefully y'all are with me. Okay. All right, so Amelia, okay, so Twitch has me, but I don't know if YouTube folks have found their way back yet. Yeah, I can't, there's no way for me to restart one specific thing. Ooh, let me double, boop, there we go. One specific platform. I have to just end the stream. I can't just restart YouTube or anything like that. It's really annoying, and I don't even always know when I've been disconnected, because that time I didn't get a notification, but when I went into my notifications, there was a notification, but I didn't get the little dot that I usually get when there's a notification. All right, but I'm also seeing stuff. All right. I'm seeing stuff super weird. I don't know. Is there anybody over there on YouTube? I don't know if there is or not. Okay, I see some folks back, but I'm not seeing them on my multi-stream. I can see folks chatting in the YouTube, because I have YouTube open in another window. So I see Hattie found her way back, and Daniela is back. Alicia's back. Kelly has joined us. Kelly says, happy time zone, my friends. I'm off to the library to pick up my holds. Hopefully, I'll be back. Hang on. Oh. Hopefully, I'll be back before you go dark. I'm going to be here for a while, so... Alicia says, welcome back. Thank you, thank you. Okay, it looks like I'm getting the YouTube things now... in my multi-stream chat. Okay, sometimes it takes a minute for me to see the YouTube stuff when I'm on the multi-stream. All right. Paula stopped in to drop by to boop the like button. Hi, Paula. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sophia says, Twitch is stupid. The problem with Twitch is that I can't just refresh, because then I get to your offline page, so I can't tell you you're off. I'm sorry, that's annoying. Well, I saw everybody's comments. It was all in there. But when I asked y'all to refresh, it was because I had reconnected already. And so, yeah, that's annoying. Yeah, Twitch sucks. And, you know, Streamlabs sucks. That's my streaming software, because I cannot, when I get disconnected from one, I cannot just reconnect to that one. I have to disconnect to wherever I'm streaming and then reconnect. And the annoying part, particularly with YouTube, is that you're on a whole different link now. You're in a whole different video than you were before. Whereas at least Twitch, you're just still on the same page. It's not a whole different place for people to have to come find you. So, Hattie says, we're here, we're here, we're here. So I missed a whole bunch of the previous chat then. Because I had to reconnect, the chat I was reading originally, all the comments are gone. So I'm sorry, y'all. We should probably get to work anyway, because it's already 12:30. I've been yapping for a half an hour. All right, shall we get into it? I'm going to finish eating my breakfast. I have multiverse stuff to work on. Dragon Con stuff to work on. And lots of other things, but those are my two main things this week, especially because we have to. Next week we're sending out the gigantic guest programming interest survey for Multiverse. And I've got to do the same thing for Dragon Con. And they're both very time sensitive, so I've really got to get my shit together this week, y'all. All right. Yes, Sophia, that's exactly what I was saying. So, I got 20 minutes on the clock, y'all. Let's get into it. Hopefully I won't get disconnected anywhere. So, here we go. All right, y'all. That's the end of the sprint. Let me know in the chat how you did. So I'm working on creating that gigantic survey I talked about, and what I do is I go through each track and I put what panels they're thinking about putting on their track, and I put this all in the survey. So I got almost completely through one track. I got through everything they had on the main schedule, but I also encouraged them to do a couple additional ones in case there aren't enough guests who are interested in one of the ones they have on there anyway. So I have to do the additional ones for the sci-fi track, and then I'll probably do one more track in the next sprint, and then move on to something else. All right. Thano asks if we have a task command. We do not. I have not set up that at this time. It's something that's been on my list for a while, but it's not high enough in priority right now. I have other things. Yeah, I'll get there eventually, just not yet. So Sophia says, if you want her to have one, you need to tell her how. No, I've got like a line on them. I just haven't, and I can probably do it through my bot, but I haven't. It hasn't been on my priority list. So, yeah. Anita says, nearly finished a promo short. Awesome. Awesome. I also got sidetracked by a Facebook message, an author asking some questions about something. So I was also doing that during the sprint. Let's see. Sophia says, I have identified the areas of my life where I'd like to have goals. So that's something. I love that. Awesome. Awesome. All right. We are going to, because I took so much time at the beginning and we had technical issues, we're just going to go into the next sprint. I'm going to need to go off camera for a couple minutes, but I'll be back. And continue to check in, and we can still chat in the chat, but let's get back into it. And then during the actual break, we will meet our new spirit who we have lured. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Here we go. All right. That's the end of that sprint. I was away from the stream for longer than I anticipated, so I did not get the next track done. I did finish the science fiction track. I finished getting that information into the survey. Next, I'm going to work on horror, but we get a little break. Let's see, I still got a lot of tea, so I'm probably not going to go anywhere, but I am going to turn on the timer. There's the timer. Let me scoot it down so you don't see those funky buttons. All right, we're going to put 5 minutes on the clock. We'll probably go long today because of the issues and the chatting at the beginning of the stream, so don't worry. Let's see. So earlier, Sophia asked, so I have a goal that I'd like to be good at sewing, but now I need to figure out what that looks like. What does a person who is good at sewing look like? They make their own clothes, right? And curtains, and people probably ask them occasionally if they can sew stuff. I mean, that's also all definitely true. I replied that I think some do those things, but I was good friends with a pro seamstress, and that was her actual degree, was costume design and whatever. I don't know. That was her actual bachelor's degree. And she made some of the most amazing costumes too. Let's see. And I said she only really made clothes for herself when she was making costumes. And that's true. Like I don't ever remember her, at least not very often. She might have done it occasionally, but I didn't really see her very often taking time to make her regular clothes for herself. She could, but that's just not a thing that she did. And I think a lot of it had to do with the cost of clothes versus the time that it would take her to do it, you know? And also because, you know, not necessarily that it would take her that much time, but she just didn't want to put that much effort into something that was, you know, just regular clothes, I think. I mean, I don't know. We never really talked about it. Sophia doesn't want to be a pro seamstress, but that she wants to be able to say, I'm good at sewing and have something to prove it. Just like my eventual marathon medal will say I'm good at running. Yeah, I think honestly, if you just make something that is a quality garment, like if you make yourself a pair of pants or a skirt or whatever, I mean, that's enough to say it, right? Like, there's no gatekeepers. Okay, I really think that my thing is a little too, see, that's too far out. That's too far in because I can't find, okay, so I've got to fiddle, I'm gonna fiddle with my camera later, y'all. Okay, Anita says, I finished the video and posted it. Oh, and Heather joined us over on YouTube. Hi, Heather. Welcome in. And I know you said you have to leave in about 15 minutes. So we're glad you could join us while you're here. Daniela says, work computer is off. Yes. And dinner is ready to go into the oven. What's for dinner, Daniela? You know I'm going to ask. I'm always going to ask. Alicia ate her lunch. She had a Cuban sandwich. Oh, girl, I love Cuban sandwiches. Oh, my God. And chili cheese Fritos. All right. All right. Anita says there are a lot of sewing channels on YouTube if you want to see them in action. Yeah, you can absolutely monetize your sewing for sure. For sure. So, all right. What else? Oh, we're going to meet our new spirit, shall we? Okay, I'm going to turn off the timer for just a moment. Here we go, y'all. Y'all, it's a mushroom. Oh my God, I love this one. Mushroot. It's a mushroot. Mushroot is a mischievous scamp of a spirit who loves to pull the same practical joke over and over again. It sneakily buries itself somewhere in your garden to fool you into plucking it out with just the top of its spongy head or root-like tendrils poking out of the dirt, so as to look like an ordinary mushroom or weed. Much like the infamous mandragora plant, a startling surprise awaits the person who uproots a mushroot. But instead of an otherworldly shriek, this spirit greets you with a boisterous barrage of chuckles and giggles. As if that wasn't enough of a prank already, Mushroot's laughter is psychically infectious, so you'll find yourself belly sore from laughing along with it, whether you're in the mood to or not. Non-consensual laughing. But whatever you do, don't loosen your grip, because if it manages to wriggle free from your grasp, it'll scurry away to bide its time until it can start its game of hide and seek all over again. If you want to get any real gardening done, you won't want to keep getting sidetracked by this rascally fungi's idea of a fun time. Okay, that's funny. That's so cute. Okay, let me what am I looking for? I'm looking for wardrobe, spirit companion, kitty cat. You go down, there's the mushroot. Wow, we got a lot of color choices. Okay, so we've got our regular red, which is, you know, often my preference. Brown. And then this kind of orange and pink, or yellow and pink. That one's really cute. Green. Oh, I turned myself around instead of the mushroom. And then pink, just regular pink. And purple and blue. Oh, that's cute. I like that color combination. Ooh. I really like this one, y'all. With the sparkly hat. Oh, this one's got a little flower on its head. Okay, that's cute. Oh, this one's red. Also cute. Aw, this one's also very pretty. But y'all, I really love this one. This is the one we're doing. Sorry. Boop. All right. But we're gonna stop okay, we're gonna turn off the sound. Doot. So we don't need that anymore. We're gonna stop gardening. We're gonna make it not nighttime anymore. We'll make it evening. And then we're gonna. That's not right. That's not right. We're gonna What should we do? I think I want to go in the greenhouse because I want a close up of this little guy. We could do painting, watering, writing. This is what we're doing. Okay, y'all, I was in my own little world. I wasn't even paying any attention to any of the chat because I love this little guy. Let me turn that back on. Okay, let's see. Sophia says about the sewing, it's more that I want to define for myself what that means to have arrived at this goal. Define to myself. I almost got it right. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. So I think, I'm not sure entirely that we can help you with what that looks like, because you've got to decide what it looks like for you, right? Let me turn that off. Daniela says, dinner will be Beyond Meat patty and baked potatoes and broccoli. That sounds good. I would eat that with you. Yummy. Right, the mushroom, talking about the mushroom. It could kill you, but it's cute. A lot of things that could kill you are also cute. Myself included. No, I'm kidding. On both of those things. Celestial! I know, right, Hattie? So cute. So cute. Danielle finished her promo! Made an egg sandwich and now eating until it's time to leave. Also grabbing some things I need. Excellent. Well, I hope you have a good appointment. And we may or may not be here when you get back. Like I said, we're going to go long today because I talked a lot at the beginning and then we had technical problems at the beginning before we even started our first sprint. So we're just gonna keep on keeping on. All right. Erica finished sharing her multiverse pic on socials. That's so exciting. And started working on my work in progress. And yes, our little mushroom is very cute. I don't know if you saw Erica, and actually I'm going to put this link back in the chat since we lost chat before. Let me scroll back to where I have it in my clipboard because Okay, so for those who don't know, Multiverse's charity for this year is the Detention Watch Network. That is not the right link. Let me find the right link. Where is it? Okay, I don't know where the link went. It's not that. Oh, wait. Nope, that's not it. That was from last night. Where the hell did the link go? Because that's not the whole thing. Hang on. Let me get the link that is actually the... Here we go. Copy. Okay, this is the donation link. So, any money folks... yes, I know, right, Emily? Any folks who would be interested in donating to Multiverse's link for that charity, there it is in the chat. This is an excellent charity, and especially as my husband is an immigrant and I am terrified every time he leaves the house. This is an important one for me. So, all right. Our break is over, y'all. It's over. It's over. But that's okay. We'll have another one. So let's get into it. We've got another 20 minutes on the clock. I'm going to be working on putting the horror track stuff into the survey. And then I'll move on to Dragon Con stuff. All right. Are we ready? With our cute little mushroom. It is so cute. Okay, here we go. Okay, y'all. That's the end of that sprint. How did you do? I was able to get all the horror track stuff into the survey. So that's 2 tracks that I did today. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6.5 left. So, because gaming doesn't really have a lot of stuff to put in there, and a lot of the stuff is already in there. It's like, hey, would you like to run a game? What game would you like to run? Da 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 da. So, so yeah. Jane says, I love that you did the conductor thing. I do that every time because that's just what it makes me think of. I think it's cute. I like it. Welcome in, James, by the way. Congratulations on the good interviews. Huzzah! So, how did everybody do that round? I do want to give you guys a heads up that it's possible. I'm waiting on a phone call, and on Monday we kept playing phone tag, and then yesterday she didn't try to call me back at all. And I haven't gotten a call from her today, but we're not supposed to leave a message more than like every 2 days. So, because they say they'll get back to you in 2 business days. But I couldn't remember on Monday afternoon, I couldn't remember which one of us left the last voicemail. So I went ahead on Tuesday morning and just left another message, but I didn't hear from her at all Tuesday, and I haven't heard from her today, which means tomorrow I have to leave another message. So that'll be fun. I also have a dental cleaning tomorrow that I had to reschedule and move up a week and a half. I'm tired. All right. Tiny harmless robots. Hello. Hello and welcome in. We're glad you could join us. Horror track. What are the tracks for? So, I am the programming director for Multiverse Convention, which is a sci-fi fantasy horror fandom convention in just south of Atlanta in Peachtree City. And so one of the things that we do in our planning process is we take all of the panels for all of the tracks and put them on this stupidly gigantic survey for the guests to fill out so we know what panels they're interested in being on. So that's what I'm working on right now, because that needs to go out on the 15th. We'll be sending out we send out a monthly email to the guests just so that they know what's, where we are in the process, what's going on, etc., etc. So that will be going out on the 15th. So that's it. Also, Robo is cool. All right, Robo. Nice to meet you. And you're welcome for asking. Let's see. James says, I talked to one of the recruiters and got updates on 2 roles, so scheduled for next week. Awesome. You're just going to have your pick. You're just going to be like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I mean, don't do it that way. That's not a good way to do it. Don't do it that way. But you know what I mean. Sophia sketched out 3 of the 7 major goal areas. That's so exciting. I love that. Anita says, move to working on a new short story. I also have a new short story bouncing around in my brain. I sketched it out Monday night. I haven't started writing it yet though, because it's still percolating, but it's got real good bones, and it's horror. It is flat out horror. Yeah, it's got real good bones. So, all right. And also Anita said, might submit this one to an anthology if I finish it on time. That's exciting. Yay. Yeah, I'm just writing mine for me, but it'll be a story that would fit a number of horror kind of tropes and themes. Emily said, I actually got some writing down. Yes, 200 words in my little novelette thingy. I do need to loop back to work though now. Oh, you have a meeting. I'm so sorry. But we may be here when you get back. So that'll be nice. Kelly has returned just in time for the multiverse discussion. Yes, and definitely go check the performers application, Kelly, because there are 4 in there. So yeah. All right. Robo says, wow, that's neat. Yes, it's a lot of work, but it is so incredibly good. So fun. Sophia says, does anyone know a good and very simple flowchart maker, browser or app? I do not. The Harry Potter castle has been moved. For those who don't know, Alicia's library got flooded because of reasons. Nothing to do with them, just pipe reasons, flooding reasons. So she's having to redo a whole bunch of stuff, which is also fun too. Once you get past the trauma of it. Lorelei sheets are being washed. Excellent. And I started the dishwasher. All those things. We'll film the video in the next sprint. Excellent. Good job, Alicia. James says, I wouldn't, but I might need an adultier adult to help. Eeny, meeny, miny, mower. Well, I'm always here for you, James. Please don't eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Daniela says, I turned on the dishwasher and now I have no plates to eat dinner on. That was not my smartest move. Well, you can pause the dishwasher, pull out a plate, and restart the dishwasher. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. So, yeah. All right. Alicia says, next week will be busy for me. Tile going in on Monday. Kids have wellness checkups. Yeah, you're going to be all over the place. All over the place next week. Let's see. Oh, James suggests draw.io to Sophia. So cool. Awesome. Robo says, I write horror too. Love hearing that. Yes. I always have horror just pop up. I grew up on horror. Through my teens and 20s, that was literally all I read. And maybe the occasional murder mystery, which is just horror in a different label. But I don't typically write horror novels, but often my short stories are horror. I tend to like horror in shorter work than longer work. I like longer work, but yeah, it always comes up, and it's very easy for me to write. I can write a super creepy scene without even thinking about it, just about, so you'd think I'd just write a fucking novel that way, but do I know? No, I don't. All right, let's see. Sophia says, thank you, James. James says, I use the draw.io for all of my flow charts and data flows. I like it. Nice. Erica got some words down. Yes, and this is for all the people who got stuff done. Great job, y'all. Great job. Kelly says, I'm not sure I know how to access that. I'll see if I can figure it out. I'll send you the link again in Discord when we start the next sprint. If I don't, ping me, because I'll forget between now and then. I will. I'll forget between now and then. Alicia says, we will also be building the bookcase. The mouse was over the word painting, because it says painting them, and I read it as planting, and I'm like, that can't be right. We'll be building the bookcases, painting them, and putting them in, then book organizing. That's the best part. I love the book organizing part. Swank says, thanks for sprints. I have a call at 1 p.m. Well, thank you for hanging out, Swank. We may be here when you get back, but I hope you have a great call and have a good rest of your day if I don't see you. Let's see. Sophia says, some of these goals intersect a lot practically, so it's useful to draw them out a bit. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. I'm personally not a visual person. I understand flowcharts, but that's not how my brain really thinks. Not the way flowcharts are normally made. I like to put things out there, but I do it my own way, because of course I do. Oops, scroll back. Anita says, novels and short stories are a different mindset. Horror short stories are easier to write. I agree, and I also think they can be much more impactful than a novel. You can deliver a 1-2 punch with a short story that is more challenging to do in a novel, because a novel's longer, right? So they're different. They're a different vibe altogether. This story is going to end with a punch. And which I love it, because also as a reader, I like reading a story and then going back and it just coming back into my mind. And I just think about it for a few, for days or however long. There are stories, horror stories that I read 10, 20 years ago that still pop into my head because they just had that, just reach out and grab you kind of vibe to them. So yeah. Uh, I agree that they are easier to write, and I think that's part of it. I think that's part of why. Sophia says, I mean, the goals themselves don't overlap, but the stuff I need to do to reach them overlap, which is great because that means, when you're doing that one thing, it's pushing you toward two different goals, which I love. That's so efficient, right? Robo says, woo, congrats guys. Thanks for the sprint. Looking forward to dropping in again sometime soon. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Robo. You too. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Oh, and there's the follow.
Tiny harmless robots just followed. Yay.
Yay. Thank you for the follow. Sophia says horror novels have oh wait, hang on. Anita says less of the middle to figure out too. I did not read that right in my head. I read it as middle finger and I was like also applicable. Sophia says horror novels have the advantage of making something a little scary once, then kind of scary later, and then the third time the hedge animals come alive to eat you. Exactly. Like, it's not, neither one is better or worse, but they are absolutely very different in a way that isn't as common in other genres, I think. When you look at short stories and things like that, I don't like the 1-2 punch that you can get out of a horror story is not as it's not as common or probably as effective in other, like when I think of like fantasy or sci-fi, stuff that doesn't have a horror like stuff that doesn't have a horror element. Obviously you can combine horror with any genre, any other genre, but if it doesn't have horror in it, like that 1-2 punch that you can do with horror is not, and when I really think about it, I don't know that there are any other genres that lend themselves to that without it being a cliffhanger for another story. You can do a 1-2 punch at the end of, a fantasy or a romance or whatever, but they're always as a cliffhanger or a lead in to the next piece of work. But with horror, short stories, you can do that 1-2 punch and then nothing comes after that. So, and I love those. All right. And that's it for the chat. Okay, so let's get back into it. What am I going to work on? I've got some DragonCon moderator stuff that I need to work on. So, and their emails, and I've got like so much stuff to work on for DragonCon. I'm so behind. Okay, but we're going to get back into it. We're going to get our shit done. I have faith in us. Here we go. I should probably turn off the mic. All right, that's the end of that sprint. How did you do? How did you do? I got several emails, DragonCon emails sent and handled. I also started composing another one that I need information from other people for, but it's at least composed, and I can just copy paste the information into it, and then when I get them all done. Yeah. So, how did everybody else do? The yawning has begun. All right, so we got a little breaky break. Like I said, we're going to go long today. I'm thinking probably so about 2:30-ish, maybe 2:45, something like, 3:30-ish, 3:45. I was just looking at the clock. That's why I said the wrong time. But yeah, we'll probably go at least another hour after the break. Maybe a little longer. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. Sophia says, working on my writing goals right now. I love that. So, during the break, I need to top off my tea. And then I also need to grab some food. So I'll probably eat during the next sprint. So, all right, continue to check in. I'm going to go ahead and be right back. Get my stuff and get things settled. And then I'll be back. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, I'm not leaving just yet then.
Just rated with 9 viewers. Welcome, Raiders.
I don't know why that echoed so bad. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, Tiger and Raiders. Glad to see you here. Hello. Thank you so much for the raid, Tiger. You're awesome. You're awesome. I hope your stream went well. How'd it go? Did you get a lot of stuff done? I was actually just getting ready to take a little quick break, but I want to welcome folks in. Glad you could join us today. My name is Vanessa. I write primarily urban fantasy with horrific elements and also short fiction that is often horror. I'm also a professional editor. I'm very involved with conventions. So if you have any questions about conventions, let me know. I probably got the answers. Also, I run the Writers Troupe, which is where you are right now. The Writers Troupe is a writerly support and education group on Facebook, Discord, Twitter, no, not Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. That's the other one. So yeah, so welcome in, folks. Tiger says the stream went well, fought the urge to go play Star Miner, and wrote 2 chapters. Excellent. Excellent grown-up discipline. Now go be a kid and go play games. Eat dinner and play games. Let's see, who else? Angel Faye has joined us. Hello, Angel. She came in on the raid. Good to see you, friend. Daniela says she ate dinner out of Tupperware. No plates. We don't need plates. It was delicious. It sounded delicious. And played Wordle and failed miserably. I'm so sorry. Kayla Gray says, sounds good. Need sprints today. Well, excellent. Yes, because we are staying late. That's what Kayla is talking about. We're gonna be. Usually we wrap it up at the top of this upcoming hour, but we talked a lot at the beginning. Okay, I talked a lot at the beginning, and we also had some technical problems at the beginning, so we didn't actually even get started until 30 minutes after the stream began. So we're gonna go a little late. So we've got at least another hour of sprinting. Let's see. Tiger says, yep, that's what I'm off to do. Have a good stream. Have fun. Thank you again for the raid. Have a great rest of your evening. Alicia said, I talked to hubby, got the mail, and got mail from Pearl. Yay! And now need to focus again on that video. Yes, well, right now I'm going to focus on getting more tea and getting some food. If y'all need to get something to eat or something to drink, please make sure you're hydrating. Or if you need to use the restroom, this is the time we set aside for that, so it's a perfect time to do it. If you have been with me this whole time, or if you've been in other streams or whatever, if you've just been sitting for more than the last half an hour, 45 minutes, get up out of your chair, move around a little bit, get that blood flowing. I promise you'll feel better for it. Also, first reminder, if you haven't taken your meds yet, and you should have taken your meds by now, take your meds. I have not been doing a good job at getting my afternoon vitamins lately, so I'm going to start taking them now. There we go. All right. Sophia's going to bed. Good night, Sophia. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams. Might be here tomorrow night if I don't get booked for a shift. If not, I'll see you on Friday instead. Excellent. So don't forget, tomorrow we're starting a little later than normal because I have a dental cleaning at 11. And that usually doesn't take very long. I'm usually done in about 30 minutes, but then the dentist always wants to come and just check things out. And sometimes I have to wait a little bit for her. So I will start the stream when I get home, but I went ahead and rescheduled it for 1 o'clock instead of 12 o'clock Eastern time. But if I get home at 12:30, I'll start it at 12:30. So just keep an eyeball out. Let's see. Let me scroll back up because I think I missed something. Yes, Angel says, after you return, I'll tell you what I found. Talk about, like, adding tension. All right. Yes, thank you for redirecting me back, Angel, because I did miss it. So thank you. Kayla says, I use Finch to remind me about meds. Yes, I use this little dish that I sit in front of my... I have so many of these little, they're like... I use them for, like, tea and, they're like just little dishes. I have so many of them because it's a very Dutch thing. And I thought I'll use it up here, and it's good because then my pills aren't flying all over the desk and stuff. All right. I will be right back. Let me put 5 minutes on the red timer. I will be right back. Y'all be right back. We'll meet back here in 5. I dig that song. I put it on, what's the word? On my favorites list. I liked it. Thank you, Angel. Now, share with me what you found. People on YouTube, are you guys there? Because Amelia asked if the stream died again. And when I went over and looked at YouTube, it looked like it was still going. So, sound off if you're there. Amelia, can you see us? Well, us. I say us. I guess me and my dragon. Can you see me and my dragon? So, I got, of course, Lunchables because I don't want to have to think about what I'm eating because, you know, I don't like making so many decisions. And, of course, some spicy mustard because it's bologna and American cheese, and then we spice that up. And I bought this tiny little apricot. I've been trying to eat more fruits and veggies. So I use this service called Misfit Market. And you can get like fruits that are like smaller than normal that, you know, like the big agro companies don't feel like they want on the shelves or whatever. And one of the things they do is like mystery fruits and vegetables. So it'll be like, you know, a mystery like these were mystery apricots, right? And I forget what they're called. But I got a mystery melon because I like thus far I have not found a type of melon that I don't like. And they sent this one, it's called a Picasso Sunrise melon, I think is what it's called. It was so good. We still have some in the fridge. I'm gonna have it for dessert tonight. But oh my god, it was so good. It's kind of like honeydew, but like honeydew has a very distinctive taste, and that flavor is much more muted in this one. I didn't know there was such a thing as a Picasso Sunrise melon, but man, was it good. I could probably eat a whole melon on my own. That's how good it is. Okay. Angel Faye has reinstalled her Dabble and found an old project of hers that she started plotting called The Ghost Whisperer, a YA cozy crime mystery. A 15-year-old girl who lost her parents at a very young age and being raised by her grandma. One day she goes out and sees a flyer about antique selling, and she goes there. She finds a very old cell phone, and through it, ghosts who have been killed ask for help. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Yes. Very exciting. Very exciting. Hello, Cat. Old Lady Cat is here. She is expressing her concern that she doesn't have enough food in her dish. You have enough food in your dish. What? You have enough food. Guess the type of phone I chose. I don't know. I have no good guesses. What type of phone did you choose, Angel? Amelia's back on YouTube. Yes. And Amelia also loves Misfit Market. Yes, I do like Misfit Market a lot. Nokia. Yes. I think that's a good one. It's a ghost of a phone. The ghost phone. The Nokia ghost phone. Okay, Daniela said, I moved to bed and will book the trains for my Saturday trip. I'm going to a burger event and also to see a friend and some sights, but the event sparked the whole idea. I love that. I love that. Where are you going? Where, like, are you, like, what city are you going to? I'm assuming you're going to a city. So I'm just, curious because I'm nosy. That's what it is. Hattie took the tiny tyrant out so he'd stop crawling around on my keyboard and took another dose of cold meds. Nokia brick. Well, Hattie, I hope you feel better, honestly. All right, this sprint, I am going to, I'm going to go off camera so I can eat because y'all don't want to see me grazing like that. And I'll turn it back on when I get back into the swing of things. Okay. Angel says, my character loves antiques and is a fan of Sherlock Holmes. I mean, aren't we all? Okay, I gotta roll. I gotta make sure I'm not... So the cat has a tendency to sit right under my chair, like between the spokes. So I always have to do a cat check before I move in any way that will make my chair roll. because otherwise I will roll over my cat. So, Thano is back. Hello and welcome back. I also found an old book idea from 2024 the other day. It's a post-build-up romance where a guy in a long-distance relationship with an online partner who lives across the world in another country, who visits and is a stunning platinum blonde beauty in contrast to her bubbly personality. The lore for the idea was crazy, and I think the working title was An Angel's Flight, Terminal Love, or something else. Phew! Phase work sounds great. Also, hello again. Been writing my new chapter beats. Yay! Daniela says, I don't think there's enough vowels in there for me. Brno? It's the second biggest city in the Czech Republic. Excellent. That's awesome. I hope you have the best time. Speaking of across the world, my brother and his family, him and his wife and their, I think she's 6 now, my 6-year-old niece, they're on a cruise in the Mediterranean right now. And so in our little family WhatsApp, they're posting pictures, and they're going to be, like, their last stop is going to be in Croatia. And I'm so looking forward to those, because I think like Croatia is one of the most beautiful areas. I mean, it's just gorgeous. So yeah, they're currently floating around Greece. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty envious. Let's see. Alicia says the spinner wheel dictates I look up storage solutions for the library for journaling stuff. All right, that seems like a very, very smart thing to do. Thanos says volume 3 is looking to be an intense volume. Clearly. Amelia's finding munchies. Haven't really been hungry all week, and now she's starving. Yes, eat some food, Amelia. Eat some food. I'm also going to eat some food. We'll have lunch together, you and I. All right, I've got 20 minutes on the clock again. Like I said, I'm going to go off camera so I can eat, as I mentioned. And then I will pop back on and jump back into DragonCon stuff. All right, here we go. I love you, Laura. All right, y'all. That was the end of that sprint. How did you do? I ate lunch. I was still hungry, so I went and got some pretzels. So I'm still snacking a little bit. But hubby just went to take a nap because he's really tired. This medication he's on, he does it once a week, and the day after, he's always really, really fatigued, and that's what that is. So he went to, you might have caught him coming to give me a smooch, and now he is going to take a nap. Kayla just had a scrambled egg sandwich. That sounds really good. Blood sugar was low, but it's better now. Good, good, good. Take care of yourself. Good job. Good job, friend. So, yeah, I just ate. That's all I did. I didn't do anything else. But I should probably check and see if I got any responses. Oh, I didn't actually send it. That's why I haven't gotten any responses. Okay. Well, I forgot to actually send the email that I wrote. Okay. So I'm going to go do that on the next sprint. So, Daniela booked the trains and jumped into reading. Yes. I'm currently reading King Sorrow by Joe Hill. And it's getting good. Like, there's certain aspects of the story I don't care for. But it's just now getting to the fantastical horror-y part. So, let's see. Let me scroll back. And Angel has returned. Welcome back, Angel. Daniela says, I need to finish this book to be able to close off a vlog. I still have a long way to go. Which book is that? What are you reading? You probably told me already, but I don't remember. I'm awful at that. Anita spent way too much time trying to figure out how to fix the autocorrect proofing language. Did research and wrote a little. Excellent. I really want to kind of jump into that short story that I sketched out, but I really, really need to get some of this stuff done. Kayla says, I try to self-care, but sometimes the low sugar just hits me out of nowhere. I don't notice till I start shaking. Yeah. My husband's diabetic, so yeah. But I'm glad you got some food into you. Good job. Excellent work today, Kayla. Good job. Alicia says, hubby is home and in his office. Got a tiramisu chocolate. What? What? Share the wealth, my friend. And I think I may have found a few solutions for storage. Excellent. We do love solutions here. Yes. And Kayla's just like me. Ooh, chocolate. Kayla and I, same wavelength. Daniela says it's called You're the Problem, It's You. A historical male-male romance. Ooh, that sounds fun. I like it. That sounds fun. Huzzah. Okay. Shall we get back into it? I'm going to send that email that I clearly did not send. So I'm going to do that now. All right. Are we ready? We got another 20 minutes on the clock. Here we go. Okay. How'd everybody do that round? I have to keep my voice down a little because I have to leave the door open so old lady cat can go out and use the litter box if she wants because she just ate. So I don't want her doing that in here. So I have to keep my voice a little low because hubby went to take his nap.